This is a grown man prepping for his St. Patrick's Day party to watch the Leprechaun with his friends. Bracelets and pots of gold included. Yes, this is cheesy, but it's about spending time with people you care about. Today I'm sharing with you just a little bit of my life, doors open, kind of revealing the true me that is a bit nerdy to say the least. So I'm an educator. I'm a 5th and 6th grade teacher. We just hit spring break, and if I'm being all the more honest, it has been a stressful week and a half. Paperwork needing to be done, preparing for parent-teacher night conferences, and all the things. And we hit spring break, and it's kind of like that mental vacation right now. And so, and I prepped this about a month ago. I reached out to my guys, my friends that are kind of in the squad of movie lovers. I trust their movie opinions, and recommendations. And I said, hey, there's a movie that I would like you all to watch that's not by our personal group standards, the go-to movie we would normally see. It's cheesy, it's great, it's unique. You need to watch it. And so I invited my friends over to watch 1993's Leprechaun.
The luck of the Irish is being packed.
It's out. It's out of the crate.
Now, the way this got started was last year, I made a YouTube video, a movie review about the Leprechaun.
So I just watched Leprechaun for the first time. There's a lot to say about it, but first let's start off by saying, okay, you have to accept this movie for what it is.
And so what happened was I was just, I'm always looking for ways to get involved in things and to be engaged and just have a full life. And so my version of, for the first time, celebrating St. Patrick's Day last year was watching Leprechaun. And I went ahead and bought it because it was like just one more dollar from the renting price on YouTube. And I thought to myself, hey, this can be my St. Paddy's Day tradition, is to watch the Leprechaun. And then this year, I just decided to go a bit more communal with it and do it with some friends. And I'll be honest, I was nervous that it was not going to be received in the way I received it, which was just for fun and to kind of have some entertainment. Now I invited 3 guys over, and I won't say their names just because they may or may not want their names out here, but they're 3 stellar dudes, and it was such a good night. Normally, this crew is a, word film snob, so it's like a no-talking type of thing most movie nights, but this was just open conversation, pizza. We did, sticking to the Irish theme, we did have a couple of brews, but it was such a good night because we're all married. 3 of us are fathers, and we're all men of faith. And so the movie ended, and we just had another hour and a half of conversation regarding our faith, regarding our local community. And it was a moment for me where I can step back from the expectations of vocation, and get to kind of, even if we're having silly conversations, lean into the camaraderie of the men that God has placed in my life. This is a short little moment to say, hey, you should be intentional with the people around you. I just hosted, as a 24-year-old man, hosted a Leprechaun movie watching night with 4 other adult men who I think, actually enjoyed the time. We could laugh at it, we could compliment it, we could just fully receive this movie in all its glory, and then just use that as kind of like a facilitator of just fellowship. Can't be talking about St. Patrick's Day and not mention that St. Patrick was a saint indeed. He was kidnapped at 16 from Britain, taken over to Ireland, became sold into slavery. He became slave in Ireland, and then he escaped. He prayed daily to God, and he heard God say, like, your hungers, I forgot the actual quote, but he wrote it down. But pretty much God said, hey, like, it's time to go. He like walked 200 miles to escape, and he did. And about the time he was 60 years old, he decides, hey, I'm going to go back to Ireland, the land of his captivity, and evangelize to the Irish. Obviously, at this point, he's already become a priest. But at 60 years old, he began the missionary, the evangelist's work that people most remember him for. And I think that's really inspiring. That in his later years, if you want to call him that, he was just then beginning the work that he is renowned for all the years later after his death. And so, please know you are special. You are here on purpose by the God Almighty, and He has work for you to do, regardless of your age, your gender, your demographic, your culture, your ethnicity. The Lord has work for you to do. He truly does. And sometimes it takes the intentionality of saying yes, whether that be a Leprechaun movie night or evangelizing those who have held you captive, whether for you that is, socially speaking, people who hold you captive and are not of your world. They are aliens to your world, and they challenge your beliefs and challenge your worldviews and your values, and maybe even are sources of temptation in your life to abandon those things. The Lord has work for you to do, to evangelize, to share His gospel. Say yes. And maybe go check out The Leprechaun, 1993.